This is Larry Zbyszko, wrestling's living legend, and you're watching Monte and the Pharaoh. Monte in my dreams and the Pharaoh.
Oh, Mike, I'm so sorry. I heard you got hurt. You know, actually, the best thing, if you're injured, is to grow up and be a man. Come on.
All right, welcome to another episode of Monte and the Pharaoh, seen here every Thursday at Village Connection Radio, live from Rockstar Studios, 8:05 to 9 p.m. We're on a little early. We have a special guest calling in, or we'll be calling him, the genius Lanny Poffo. At the board is none other than co-host of the In Crowd, co-host of Miller and a Rockstar. He is the station manager, and he is a world-renowned author, Stephen Miller.
Hey-o!
Okay. And to the right is none other than the star of Monte and the Pharaoh, Jimmy Pharaoh.
Hello out there in TV land, back for another episode.
Listen, we had a great weekend.
Yeah.
But I would wish that both of you would give me an opportunity to make a few statements, and if you disagree with them, just like you said on your show, Mr. Miller, about Mr. Michael Jackson, allow me to share my thoughts and whether you agree with these or not. I want to send an apology out to Dan Romano from Frankie Speak. No, I'm serious, please. This is serious. I'm sorry, Dan, that we've beat your ass to the floor on a regular basis, that you just can't stop talking about us. I'm sorry, Dan, that every time we bury you, I keep undigging you from the ground and resuscitating you like a super master surgeon. I'm sorry, Dan, that you no longer are in the wrestling world, Dan. I'm so sorry, Dan, that you have to lie about everything. Listen, what is the guy who runs the station? Anthony Graziano? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I think that's his name. Guy seems like a pretty good guy.
Not really.
Well, whatever. But I would defend Dan if I got paid $300 a month, Dan, because that's what you pay. And you know how I know what you pay, Dan? Because another co-host on Gov's Radio, Teresa Tea Time, the comedian, was in here and she told us you pay $300 a month.
Oh!
Doink! Dan, we don't pay for our show. In fact, you know, you talk about views and you talk about this and that. This show is completely sponsored. Sponsored to the level that we have every famous professional wrestler in town walking through you. But, you know, this is the one thing we couldn't do, Steven and Pharaoh.
Yes.
Is we couldn't be part of the NWO. Oh. Because I found out, Dan, that you paid $6,500 to have the NWO at your pizza place. $6,500. But if that isn't enough, Pharaoh,
say hello to the stupid fuck.
If that's not enough, gentlemen, if that's not enough,
Line of the Week by Pharaoh.
he's got an upcoming event at Governor's Comedy. Now, again, this Mr. Anthony Graziano, I'm sure he's a big fan of dance because he's paying Anthony $1,500 to do the event.
What event?
He's got some comedian thing, which he says is sold out. You spent $1,500. Do the math, Dan. $25 times 20 people doesn't equal $1,500.
No.
Not at all.
I'm not a math guy, but no.
And then when you bring your friends,
just like him, he winds up a little short there, doesn't he?
It's unbelievable.
Oh, sorry.
So a couple of things. Fully sponsored. Don't pay for our show. Oh, it's another thing that we don't brag about too much. Every Comic-Con around the United States, guess who gets invited as press?
Oh, well.
Monte and the Pharaoh. very interesting, Dan.
Strength 10.
Dan, but I will say, I'm a big believer in God, and I have to say, I thank God every day he brought you into this world. Because every time I feel like shit about myself, I just listen to you and look at your posts and listen to your videos, and I feel great.
Boy.
I feel like I'm alive. Dan, I love you, Dan. You brought me alive. I love every minute of you, Danny boy. I love bringing you back and destroying you on a regular basis. Hold on. Let me read a text from one of the promoters. Are you ready for this? I'm no longer going to be friends with you because you allow these guys to make fun of my place. Oh, Danny. Which one is it? Which one is it, Danny? Do we have viewers? Do we not have viewers? I don't know which one it is. If we don't have viewers, what do you care that every professional wrestler hates your fucking guts? But, if we don't have viewers, it shouldn't matter because no one's hearing it. But the reality they are, Danny, they hate you. They come through here and you're the joke, and I love it. You have brought me alive, Danny. I love you. Keep talking about me, Danny.
Yeah, well,
and the best part is I feel bad for your other half because she's wondering why are you spending all this money. But then she'd realize, you know what? Every time you leave work or leave the house, it's like being back in Ethiopia again. I'm free. I'm free to enjoy my life. And I get that, Danny. I get it. So you're giving your wife something. God bless, Danny. God bless. And let me tell you something else. You claim to be an actor. I have to admit, I hooked up with Amazon Prime. I had to watch it. I had to see what all the stuff was about. And you know what, Danny? I realized you are a great actor. I've never seen an actor who has one word in a whole 2.5-hour movie. And I understand why they only gave you one word. Because you can't even remember your lines, Dan. But you know what, man? I'll watch that movie 100 times over for free because it's Amazon Prime. I didn't buy it, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved every minute about you. In fact, Danny, you are the greatest actor of all time. You are incredible. I can't help but just watch you on your videos, and your radio show's incredible. I've never seen such a fucking moron in my life. Oh, Danny, I love you, baby. I wish you would have come to Village Connection. And as far as it goes to my partner, you taught him how to do business.
Oh,
Danny.
Genius now.
You couldn't teach anybody how to do anything.
My God.
But you know what you taught me? You taught me that I thought my life was shit, but with you, life is good, baby.
Rosie!
Life is good, Daddy. We love you. So there's my 5 minutes on Dan Romano. Thank you.
That was outstanding. That was outstanding.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'll be looking forward to your post tomorrow, Danny.
Right.
Anyway.
Can we review the streets quickly?
Surely
I
can.
thought we were going to save that for an absolute
Let's review
glorified
it.
special.
We will do a glorified
I don't have
special.
eye poisoning yet.
Yeah, my eyes are poisoned.
I don't have eye
Go ahead.
poisoning
Go
yet.
ahead.
I did
Steven.
not wear glasses before seeing the streets. And I've given it to a few friends. I've called it the 10-minute challenge.
Oh.
And not one friend can make it. 'Cause
Bart couldn't make it.
One of them
No,
actually
I
said,
heard.
and I quote, what the fuck is this? And I'm like,
There's a glowing review.
and I'm like, okay. And I was like, it's supposed to be a movie. And he said,
What?
It's
there's
supposed
no
to be.
story.
Keywords.
There's no acting. There's no
That's great.
script. And they've collected the ugliest bunch of people in one place at one time.
Listen, I'm gonna
had a
take
big
offense to
head
that.
start.
There's a scene when Dan Romano is looking out the window.
out the window
It's
like
one of the
a
greatest
dental
scenes of all
patient.
time.
Is it?
Yeah, he's shaking his
Wow.
head yes, and they keep asking if he's okay, and he keeps shaking his head. It's classically acted. You obviously you relate to me as a watcher that the mob boss is clearly troubled by something as he stares out the window.
But you don't know what it is, though.
No, that's the secret.
And they never tell you either,
No,
do
they never
Wow,
really
this
tell
is
you.
Yes,
impressive.
it's
Impressive.
a mystery.
It's
It's
a
a mystery.
I
It's
don't
a
know. Is it
mystery. What the fuck it's about? No one knows.
You know
Nothing.
what he was pondering? He's pondering, man, I shouldn't have spent $7,000 to bring my wife to this country. That's what he was pondering.
Nice. I don't know what it was. It's not a movie. It's nothing. It's nothing. And
I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 10.
So, I'm gonna go get some Alka-Seltzer now.
You have not watched it yet, Pharaoh.
I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, I'm in good shape. I don't need to be wrecked like you two. I don't want to see it.
I really recommend it.
Why?
Because it makes you feel good.
I'm already like,
It does
you know,
make me feel good
Thank
about
you.
myself.
That's right.
makes
You
you,
know
feel
why?
good about yourself.
About myself
Yeah.
because I'm
That's
not
interesting.
that low.
Yeah.
And check it out.
Check it.
What?
God.
Check it out.
Dude,
That's
now,
in there
wait a minute.
too?
There's your answer why he only did 10 minutes in Scarface and 10 minutes, 1 minute in Carlito's Way.
Check it out.
Because when pressured to actually perform, there's not much.
it out.
Check it out.
Ruh-roh.
Check it out.
What a bunch of talentless dickheads.
Oh boy.
I take offense. I liked it.
Oh yeah.
So how was your weekend, Miller?
Awesome. Too Cold Scorpio, Billy Jack Haynes. How does it get better than that, dudes?
Well, we got Lanny Poffo in a minute, but I wanted to get both of your opinions on Mr. Billy Jack and Too Cold Scorpio, but by all means.
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Too Cold Scorpio, I thought was a lot of fun. I thought he was having a good time. He was a hell of a good guest. Billy Jack Haynes was actually a revelation. I mean, he was like off the charts.
For Mike to need to take a shower afterwards, basically, wow.
I felt
Billy
bad.
Jack was
I felt bad about
impressively
the business.
Controversial.
He was.
I
to say the
actually,
least.
it actually made me feel bad about the business. And the more I read about it, the in-depth, the more I want to take a shower.
Well, we did,
At some point.
we did learn that Vince McMahon did kill everybody,
Okay.
which was very interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought so.
You know,
Well-
whether it was true or not, any of this, because I can't deny or confirm I wasn't there.
Right.
It's a hell of a friggin' interview.
He's a great listen because you never know what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
Those two guys couldn't have been more opposite as far as makeup, but they were both real gentlemen. They were
Totally.
very, very nice people.
Totally,
For whatever that's
gentlemen,
worth to those
yeah.
folks out there who weren't here behind the scenes. They were great guys, both of them. I really loved the Too Cold Scorpio interview because the wrestling nerd in me got all the stuff I
Yeah.
wanted to get.
Yeah.
And Billy Jack Haynes, I don't go like in your direction as much as you do as far as give me the dirt.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
man, how can you? That's a great listen to stuff that's coming out of Billy
You know,
Jack
I
Haynes.
really
so.
think that
Good
we
weekend
do a
for us.
really good job interviewing.
You guys do a
and,
great job of
I
it.
thought the
We
interview
try.
went well.
Thank you.
But I will tell you, he shook me. It's like everything you asked him,
could see
there was a
that.
more interesting story in the next thing he was saying than what you actually asked
Yeah,
about.
it was hard to keep him in one area, but that's okay.
It seemed like at 1 or 2 points it was hard to follow up because you were a little stunned.
I was shocked, dude. I
Both
mean,
of you, I think Jimmy as well. At one point,
Yeah, I
was
would.
like,
No,
"Holy crap!"
a lot of the things that he was saying were very stunning.
But you
know?
guys, as
Vince
far-
McMahon Sr. could be my father. I was like, whoa, what's going on
yeah,
here?
that was a little rough.
There's a lot of crazy stuff.
That's just a little bit. Like we could name a million
Yeah,
things
there
that
was a
went
bunch
on
of-
in that
yeah.
interview.
Said
There was
an
a
hour.
bunch of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, it was fascinating, and you guys, I got to be honest, you guys did a great job with him because, a guy like that, you just let him talk.
Well, you know what's funny? I guess he did some other shoot interviews up in Pennsylvania and stuff when he was traveling the circuit, which I think ESS, from what I understand, did very well with him.
Good
deal.
Which is good for Eric. But
Good.
the guys that did the shoot interviews, they're afraid to put it on the air in case they're going to get in trouble.
Fairies.
Why?
I don't know. I put it on.
Why would you get in trouble?
What are they gonna do?
I don't know. He said
What?
that Stone Cold beat his wife.
So what? It's not.
Not anything to do with us.
Stone
Yeah.
Cold's not
it's
gonna
his
beat me
opinion.
up,
No,
so-
This is
no, I
what
think
he
it's
thinks,
like,
or
how
he
I don't
feels.
know. I mean, Christ Almighty, he said that it was his first time ever. By the way, I was whether that's again, I don't know what's true, what's not. He said that was the first time he ever told anyone this show that he was a cocaine dealer.
Nice.
So that was a good little
Yeah, that was quite
little
the
nugget for Monte and the Pharaoh
it
and
was quite
Village
the
connection. I
revelation.
thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And whoever would have thought that he was doing any of these things when we saw that good old country boy kind of guy, like, doing the Aw Shucks promos back in the NWA
yeah.
days. It's like, what?
Pharaoh.
I saw one promo this past week, if I could get this in, where
Yeah.
he's apologizing to Gordon for raising his voice and getting too excited.
Wow.
That's how good guy this guy was. Oh, I'm really sorry, Gordon, I raised my voice.
One great
What?
question you did ask him. You said,
Yeah.
I feel like you should have been a heel, and he's
Right.
like, you wanted to be a heel.
did.
And I think I responded saying, nah, he had the good guy face. After you said that, I watched it. I was looking at him.
He would have been a great
He would have
guy.
been. You're right. He should have been a bad
He would
guy.
have been, and he would have loved to have
He had
played
the
it.
look.
You could tell he wanted to play
Yeah,
it.
he definitely could have. Did
done
you
it.
guys watch Billy Jack growing up? The movies Billy Jack.
Yes.
How'd you
No.
like those things?
I loved the first one when he was just kung fu and all the assholes.
So it's a good
kinda
movie,
awesome.
huh? I can't say I ever saw it.
He was kung fuing people all over the place.
Apparently, he gave Billy Jack Haynes a hard time and forced Billy Jack to add Haynes to his last name.
Yeah, because there would be a total
like
total
everybody,
confusion.
yeah, like everybody
what?
likes Billy Jack.
15 years
Right.
later, after the movie came
Why did
out.
those become so popular?
I don't know. I never saw it. I can't say.
I mean,
don't
Billy
know.
Jack did less speaking than Romano did.
Did he really?
I think so.
Wow.
There's a scene in the one, I think the Billy Jack 2 movie. He's actually looking over the mountains, and a couple of people come up there like, Billy Jack, are you okay? And he looks at him, and he shakes his head, yes. And then another person comes over, Billy Jack, are you okay?
Well, maybe it was the way he was shaking his head. Was it with authority?
With authority. But
Did it make you wonder what he's up thinking?
Yes.
Wow, well, there you go.
What is Billy Jack?
Method acting, bro.
What's he
This-
thinking right now?
You know? What's my motivation? What's my motivation? Nothing. Oh, good.
Oh, phone's ringing.
We have a call.
Let's
You guys
take
wanna
it.
Take a call.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Let's have it.
Hey, it's Monte the Pharaoh. Welcome, and say your name clearly.
Hello, you reached Monte and the Pharaoh. If you don't want me to hang up on you, say something.
Don't be a scad.
Hi, this is nobody. I'm calling from Northport.
Yeah, there's no one there.
All right. Oh, well.
Good call. Thanks, caller.
Great call.
The best call
Great,
we've had all day.
great call.
Yeah, great call.
Unbelievable.
Douche.
So, Pharaoh, how was your weekend besides the shows? Did you do anything interesting?
Well, let me see. The shows were awesome. We were doing a little music this week. We were still mixing. That's going well. Trying to put together a project with my bass player from the old days, War Dance, and trying to get that together.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically it. But we're looking for top-level players, so it's not really that easy. Sometimes people come in and it's like, this is going to be a long 2 hours.
Wait, so what happens? So, like, people come out and try out, that type of thing? Like, hey, come on in, or show me what you got. And the guy's like,
We have a core, and we're looking for a couple more players to round it out. So, yeah, it's almost like that. You know, you go through the right channels. If you're lucky, you find the right player.
Really?
So far, 3 out of 5. We're looking for 2 more.
Yeah.
You know, but it was kind of torturous this past practice. I was like, oh, my God, these guys didn't learn this shit.
That's got to be tough, man, judging people like that.
But
I don't judge people.
It's not that tough. I mean,
Well, surprise.
you know, in music, it really isn't that tough. I mean, for me, I mean, if they come in
Don't
and
you
they're
feel
good,
bad?
you know
what,
they're good.
What if
they're
the guy
not good,
walks in
you know
there
they're
and he
not
thinks
good
he's
enough.
like great, and you're just like, you suck? Well, I know you
You
don't
know,
say
it's
you
really
suck.
funny.
It's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt.
I delivered a line last night because afterwards, after the practice, my bass player from the old days, we know what it's like to be in a really successful local
All right,
band.
let's take one more, and then
We just shot each other a look. We knew it was like, oh boy.
Welcome to Monte and the Pharaoh. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and what you want to talk about.
Oh, it's your Pac-Man friend, your ninja friend from Pittsburgh. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Love the show. Watching it. I can't wait when you got Lanny Poffo on the phone. I can't wait.
Well, we're
I
glad,
can't wait.
We're glad you're calling in. How's every that? So let me ask you something. When you watch it, give us some critique, us, sir. Tell us what you like about the show and what you don't like about the show.
No, I love everything about it. It's like a little... it's like the Big Tony show, but you do your own thing. Like, you literally do promos. You do everything. Jimmy, I love the way you do promos. Monty, I love how if anybody fucks with you, you're killing them. You don't care.
How do you watch any of our shoot interviews?
Yeah, I watch them. Like, I love the Jimmy Jack Haynes one, but I'm gonna be Billy Jack Haynes. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a cry for help, man.
Yeah, could be. I could see that. Why not?
Like, he was literally crying for help, and I feel bad for the guy. I loved him so much. You gotta think that what has he got to lose? What has he got to lose? But everything you do, the 5 minutes with Jimmy, everything. Even the Marty Jannetty incident, like, holy shit, that was beautiful. Beautiful.
Thanks, I think. It was a little painful, but thank you.
What could I have done better to escape Marty Jannetty from beating the shit out of me?
Yeah, do you think he should have used some, like, modern wrestling moves, perhaps a 450 splash or something?
No, you see, a wrestler, coming from being an indie wrestler, you're going to fight a wrestler anyway. Like, wrestlers have tempers. We all have tempers. It's like you say a smart-ass comment, it's like, all right, I'm going to give you strike one. It's like, I'm going to sit down. All right, cool. And then when you said you were kowtowing him, it's like, I knew you were going to do this shit. We're going to be like, you're fucking, you're a baby. And then you're like, we're gonna kowtow, we're gonna manscape you. And then he was like, okay, and he stood up. That's like strike 2. And then when strike 3 came, it was like, when you stood up, Jimmy, like, if you're gonna fight it up, fight it up. That was like the cue, like, you should never say that.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
I realized it afterwards, and
Thanks,
I let him
pal.
walk right past me. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, you're right.
Out.
You got me on that one, Trey.
You know, my wife still doesn't let me sleep in the bedroom. You know what she says to me every night?
What?
Marty Jannetty kicked your ass. Get the fuck out of my
God's
bedroom.
sakes, you've been rocked by
Loser.
a What the hell, man?
No, but it's just a warning. Like, if you get a guy that can still go toe-to-toe, don't. Like, don't say that, Jimmy. I'll be like, oh, you just gave me permission. Shit.
Trust me, bro. If Sid Vicious was in this room, I ain't saying nothing.
And you know what? Where was the advice from you when I needed it?
But listen, go for the leg. Go for the leg. Give a leg fight. Anything. Run.
You're right about that. There's a turnbuckle waiting to capsize that knee. You're right about that one.
So let me take this time to apologize to Marty Jannetty for everything I said in the past. And Marty, you have earned my respect for beating my ass.
There you go. What?
I love you, Marty.
Look, I'm
I'm
man
going to
enough
tell
to
you
admit
something. You always be Party Marty in my eyes.
Yeah.
I thought you were better than Shawn Michaels. No offense.
No, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
This is my opinion. I thought he did better moves, which it was just the fact that, like he said, Shawn was a better-looking guy. No offense.
Right.
Not being gay or anything, but
Understood.
that was Vince's boy toy. That was like, oh, you made me all that money.
Yeah. Hands off the merchandise. Yeah.
I gotta fire ya.
Yeah, so I got to ask you while we got you on the phone, my Pittsburgh brother, how do you feel about the Jets getting that running back? What do you got to say from your end in Pittsburgh?
I think it's a bad idea, and I hope he learns his lesson.
Uh-oh.
I think he's waking up from the ashes, saying, "I could have still been in Pittsburgh with $70 million for 7 years.
He did lose some
Now I'm
cash.
going to the Jets that need an offensive line, and I'm only getting $55 million. That's pretty bad.
Okay.
I love the Jets,
Okay.
but you don't have an offensive line. You got a good, decent quarterback, but you don't got an offensive line to save your life. How are you going to make a West Coast type of running back win?
Right. Logical.
You need it.
We
You
gotta
got a
fix the
good
line.
center. Don't get me wrong, but that's all you got. You're spending money in the wrong places.
All right, listen, we're going to call up, we're going to get a caller with Lanny Poffo. Thanks for calling in,
Thanks for
man.
calling, brother.
And we love your
tell
support.
Lonnie,
Thank you for everything.
Bless him, the creator of the moonsault, the master, the genius of himself. And you take care, I'll call again.
Thanks, man. Take
You got
care,
it, my
brother.
friend. Thank you. All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna
Pittsburgh.
Cue up
Excellent.
little Lanny
Let's see if
Poffo.
Lanny Poffo answers.
Lanny Poffo, the brother of Randy Macho Man Savage, and in my opinion, the genius and should be a Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, totally agree.
I love Lanny Poffo.
Totally agree.
I love myself some Lanny Poffo. And the phone's ringing. Now Miller's going, you should have fucking listened to me before, Monte. And Monte made the call. He's like, let's call him, make sure he's ready to go. I'm like, yeah, he'll be right. All right, well, keep us entertained there, Pharaoh.
Bless you. Keep us entertained. What are we going to do, tell poetry? There once was a man with a sty. He used to love to make pie. Even though he was a piece
Listen,
of crap.
while the phone's ringing, did you catch Lexi, the Lexi show?
Lexi? No, I missed Lexi. What was
They
that?
had a band on yesterday. Which
usually
I thought
try
was
to catch
friggin'
Lexi.
awesome, dude. No Wisteria Hall. Not as good as Wisteria,
Please.
but they were friggin' smoking good, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Lexi herself jamming, or she brought in
No,
another
it
band?
was another band, and they were
Okay.
really,
Wait a second.
really
I think
good.
I might have seen this. Very tight, right? Very tight band.
Yeah, they were good.
Okay.
They were good. They were
Okay.
really
I think
good.
I think I might have seen that.
All right. So let's talk a little wrestling while we're getting Lanny up.
Yeah.
What do you got
that's
for us,
fine.
buddy? You
Well,
wanna
as
talk
you
about Fastlane?
Well, as you know, this past weekend we had the Fastlane pay-per-view, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
I don't know how
good.
you felt about it. I thought it moved along pretty well. Why don't we just get to the highlights? We had it starting off with the Usos defeating Miz and Shane, and we got what we wanted. Shane turns on the Miz, grabs the Miz's father by the face, and by the way, as funny as this was, Miller came into my head, the voice, when I heard and saw him choking, like when Miz's father tells the Miz to go to the top rope. He goes, go to the top rope, go to the top rope. I could hear Miller's voice. How many belts have you won, Dad?
We got Lanny.
Do we?
Hello, Lanny.
Hello.
Can you turn on your video, Lanny?
I think so. Hang on. I thought I'd had it on.
Oh, there's the genius. I can hear
The
it.
genius in the house.
Hello.
In his
Hello?
house.
Who am I talking to?
Oh, this is the Pharaoh. Hi, Lanny.
You've changed, Pharaoh.
I did? What happened? Oh, wait. Should I use a lower voice? Hey, Lanny.
No, it was actually my picture.
What did you do? You put up...
I
okay,
don't have,
because I can't see what you're seeing.
I don't
What's
have-
Lanny seeing?
We don't have Lanny visually. But
Okay.
We have him audio.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be video.
He's gonna come video. Come video.
Oh, we're gonna
Here, let me hang up and try you. You try me back, okay?
Look
Yeah,
at
look
You
at
call
that.
me.
Okay.
Got it.
And Miller's going, Mike, Monte, why didn't you listen to me?
Monty,
This is why you're the
That's
producer
hilarious.
and I'm just the idiot.
Oh, well, okay.
You are not an idiot, my friend.
Oh, I am. I will tell you.
I'm going to try calling Lanny Poffo again.
Please call Lanny.
Hello?
Hello, is this Lanny Poffo?
Yes, don't make fun of my voice.
I'm not. That's actually my voice with a cold.
Do you have congestion? Okay, I guess you can't see me, huh?
You're doing a
John Cena? Is that you? Yeah. Oh,
John Cena, hello.
No, you don't pay enough for him.
That was great. Oh, my God. Holy check bounce, Batman.
Unbelievable.
Let's see. We could not connect you to your selected camera since it may be in use by another application. What is that?
Lanny, this is the best part. I want to work through this technical difficulty and we could just have fun with this.
Oh, my God.
Don't you have important things to ask me?
Oh, we do. We have
Okay,
a lot
let's
of-
get to it because
Let's get to it. Pharaoh.
I've been told I have a face for radio anyway.
Oh, my
Oh,
Lord.
you're a handsome devil, Lanny Poffo. Don't
Oh,
let anyone short sell you, pal.
Yeah. Lanny, I wanted to ask you, this past weekend, as you probably heard, we had Billy Jack Haynes on the show. And Billy Jack proceeded to basically shoot from the hip, and he said a lot of shocking things. I was wondering if you had any comments regarding... One of the many things he said is that he believes that Vince McMahon basically has killed all these wrestlers that have passed away, including your brother, which, of course, gave Mike and I reason to pause and immediately think to ourselves, well, what are we supposed to say with this? So I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on some of these outrageous claims of Billy Jack Haynes.
Well, where was Vince on November 22nd, 1963?
I'm not sure, but I know what was going down with JFK.
That's what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Good job.
I'm just trying to be a little bit funny. Of course, my brother, on May 20th, it'll be 8 years. So let me explain something. It was ventricular fibrillation. Now, Vince is a very powerful man, but he can't make your ventricles fibrillate. Not from Connecticut. So, Randy had a, what you call a normal death for a guy almost 60. If you look at it, VFib is happens to people around the age of 60, and he was 58 and a half. So, no, Vince did not kill Randy. If anything, he ignored him to death.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that. Well, I want to ask you a few questions about Billy Jack from what you know of him, but he was very complimentary about you and
Yes.
and your brother.
Yes, he was.
About what
Oh,
stand-up guys
he
you
said nice things about me?
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
he did.
Is that shocking to you?
Well, I always liked him, and Randy liked him too. And I'll tell you, let me just tell you about Billy Jack, and this is the reason I liked him. You know, it's very boring on the road, isn't it? I mean, it's like, oh, bro. I mean, it seems like a glamorous life, but it can be so boring. Then Billy Jack came in, and he was fun. And what really impressed me, he had the greatest imitation of Walter Brennan. Do you know who Walter Brennan is?
Yep. Uh-huh.
No, he started out with the real McCoys. It's Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys and the family known as the real McCoys. So, that was... I'm a little older than you guys, so I remember that. And then he deepened his voice a little bit. We searched for a man named Will Sonnet, the Guns of Will Sonnet. So then he would. There's this Vicks Vapo inhaler that, like a styptic pencil, and he would put in each nostril, and he'd be on the plane. And I think it was like an addiction or something. And I didn't know he was on cocaine. And of course, I learned by the interview that I guess he was, So,
real quick, you did not know that he was selling cocaine to all the boys?
No,
okay.
I didn't know that. I didn't travel in such circles.
Right.
Okay, but I remember I went to the airplane bathroom, and not to join the Mile High Club, just to, give my bladder a little release. Hate to be boring, guys, but it was just a normal bathroom stop.
That's okay.
And then I thought he was asleep. He had his head against the window, and he goes, "Hello, son," and he said it like Walter Brennan. I laughed. "Hello, son." Oh man, you had to be there.
That's great.
And the other thing, he was talking about his boxing prowess, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He beat the hell out of one of the wrestlers. I didn't see the fight. Okay, it wasn't a fight. It was an avalanche.
Wow.
He beat up Iron Mike Sharp.
Whoa! Really? Boy, oh boy.
Wait a minute. Iron Mike, poor guy.
Big boy.
I saw Mike about a week later, and his face was swollen like a monster.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Mike is a handsome guy. But bam, I mean, my God. He looked like he had lost a fight with Billy Jack Haynes.
Wow.
I said, man. And I asked Billy Jack, why did you beat him up? He says, oh, man, he was stiff.
Oh.
I said, yeah, he is stiff, but he works that way with everybody. You have to... I one time I begged him, look, you can beat me like a drum if you like, but don't pull my hair. Because that's like... The fans can't feel hair pulls.
Yeah.
Right. All it makes is I take a lousy bump if you yank my hair out of my follicles, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but he couldn't stop it. He couldn't, he was going to be stiff, and that was going to be Iron Mike Sharp. Well, I guess Billy Jack couldn't take it and just beat the hell out of him. And then my brother loved Billy Jack Haynes, and my brother wouldn't travel with you if he didn't like you. And Billy Jack was welcome in Randy's car all the time, and we had a lot of fun together. Now, about the drugs, I promise you, I never got the word on that. I don't even know. He was in a lawsuit with the concussion thing.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said, yeah.
Yep.
See, I'm not sure about, maybe there was a few lawsuits, I don't know. But I got a call about, 5 years ago. Say, hey, we're having a class action lawsuit, and we'd like to get your name on this list, and when we win, you can have some of the money. And I said, well, I've never had a concussion. He said, it doesn't matter. You got to put your name on the list, and when we win, you'll get the money. And I said, did you know my gimmick, or are you just not a wrestling fan? He says, well, I know. And I said, what did they call me? He says, you were Leaping Lanny, then you were the Genius. I said, yes, the Genius.
Yeah.
I read a John Grisham novel called King of Torts. And according to that, nobody gets rich on a class action lawsuit except the effing lawyer. So, speaking as a genius, what the premise of what you're saying is false. I am not going to get rich from your lawsuit. And, then I politely hung up the phone, and I guess this case has been thrown out of court, right?
Yeah. Well, the most recent case, Vince, it was dismissed. He basically won. They threw it out. Was that the $150 million lawsuit?
There's a couple
like
of them going on. Yeah, so I think they're pretty much done with them.
Yeah, but the Hebner brothers were in there, right? Dave and Dave Hebner and
I believe they were part of something.
Evil twin referee.
Wasn't Demolition part of it too?
Yeah, a bunch of guys.
The thing is, if a wrestler's part of it, it's possible for a wrestler to get a concussion. But these are referees,
right?
And Slick was in it. You see what I mean? He's a manager.
Yeah.
How much head trauma does a manager have or a referee?
Lanny, speaking of head trauma, how much of Billy Jack's stories do you think are head trauma, something else medically possibly, or just bitterness? What do you think it is?
Well, like I said, I like Billy Jack a lot. Okay? And also, if we get in a fight, I am 100% sure he wins.
Okay.
You know, and I remember, did he say anything bad about Hulk Hogan?
We didn't really get too much into Hogan. I know he really doesn't like Hulk much, at least from the interviews I had seen. His basic comment of Hulk was
he was a great
big for the business,
bad worker.
Right.
Didn't say he really had many crossings with Hulk Hogan. Like, he didn't know the guy much. He didn't have much one-on-one with Hogan.
Okay,
he did real quick, Lanny. He did say that one. Nancy.
He did mention that bomb. Go ahead, Mike.
With Jimmy Snuka, who was
Nancy Argentino.
Thank you, Lanny.
He said
that's why you're the genius, and I'm Mike Monte.
He said there was a possibility that it could have been Hogan's kid.
Could have been a possibility it was Hogan's kid, and Vince had her killed, and Jimmy was actually a hired hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I know. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stick with what I know instead of conjecture.
Are you laughing right now, Lanny?
He paused.
I paused. I'm going to tell you what I absolutely know.
Go ahead.
When Billy Jack Haynes was leaving the WWF, he told me his plan. His plan was to go to Portland, Oregon, and to lease a Mercedes-Benz. I said, well, that's not too bright, I thought to myself, you know. And the second plan was to buy a franchise of the Gold's Gym. And I said, well, I hope he doesn't ask me to go in half with him. And then the other thing he was going to do is start a wrestling promotion in Portland. And, you know, run the Pacific Northwest out of Portland. So what I know is, for sure, Hulk Hogan flew to Portland and helped him promote the grand opening of his Gold's Gym.
Really?
This I know for sure. I don't know for sure if Randy was with him, okay? I think he might have been, but I just don't know if he was, okay? I'd like to say, yeah, they were both there, but no, I can't. And guess how much Hulk Hogan received in money from Billy Jack? Nothing. He did it for free. He did it because he liked him. He did it because it's one of the boys. You see? Mm-hmm. And, see, you won't find... I see Hulk Hogan helped a lot of people in this business, and all he ever got for it was tired of helping people that are ungrateful, and tired of helping people that go on, you know, you've got a great podcast here, but you don't need to be trashing people that helped you in the past, do you?
Right.
No.
Right.
Unless he's that pizza guy.
Yeah, well, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I agree.
Yeah, you guys told me to do that pizza thing, and I loved it. In fact, I got a lot of good feedback on the pizza gimmick.
Oh, didn't you? And
Lanny,
let me tell
genius.
you, we loved it too.
And I'm going to be visiting you guys coming up in April.
Yes.
Before the WrestleCon deal.
Yep.
And anything you guys want me to do extra, just ask me, because you guys are fun people and you're entertainers. This is a fun show, and you get serious. I don't like it when they attack physical violence on the show. That's not my thing. But still, I think we can have a nice conversation and not be too boring.
There you go.
You're far from boring, my friend. That's
Works
for sure.
for me. Lanny, before you go, I want to ask you one thing. I have to. Billy Jack. After Billy Jack, Mike said something that kind of shocked me. And Mike loves dirt, but he was like, "Man, after this, I need a shower." This was so bad. So I wanted to ask you: is Vince McMahon? And I know this is not easy to answer. Is Vince McMahon really as evil as some folks say he is? I mean, I don't think he's out there knocking everybody off. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, is he really that bad of a person?
I don't. You know what? Okay, I'm going to say the worst thing I can say about Vince McMahon.
Okay.
And because, I believe who signed my check is whose praise I sing.
There you go. Fair.
And just because he's done with me doesn't mean I can't accrue interest on what happened.
Right.
Okay, so I have never seen Vince yawn. I have never seen him look tired. I've never seen any schmutz on his shoes. He always looked like he had a nice glassy shine on his shoes. I've never seen him in need of dental floss. I've never seen him get bored or, not want to. He works his butt off all the time. The worst thing I can say about him is that he's just like Alexander the Great. He cried because he had no more worlds to conquer. And I believe that his involvement in the XFL is going to be doomed, because it's not that Vince is no good. He's the best there is, but I don't think that the fans want another football team, another football league anyway. I think it'll see what happened last time. They had a huge rating for the XFL, and then the next time they were on TV, it flopped.
Yep.
And then it flopped again, and then it flopped some more, and then they were just dying out there.
Well,
and
that's what I give. That's what I give him credit for, Lanny. At least at his age, he's like, you know what? That's one of his failures. It probably sits, in his left pocket, and he wants to, before he exits this earth, wants to be successful at it. I agree with you. I don't think it will be successful, but I give him credit, saying, "Hey, this is my money. I'm going to do something that I failed at." I mean, so, I guess you could look at it that way.
I think he's going to fail again. I agree.
Yeah, and, the NFL does a few things that the XFL invented, or Dick Ebersol.
Correct.
Now they started putting cameras on cables and,
Correct.
Making a much nicer picture for the football fan. And as far as production, Vince is a very slick producer. So I'm just saying, he's going to fail again. Okay, and he might prove me wrong, but I don't think so, because I just don't think there's a market for it. He's a go-getter, but come on, guys, there's nothing left to go and get.
Right. Agreed.
Okay, I just want you to, and of course, they're going to make a big deal out of standing for the national anthem, which is nice, instead of the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Right.
Okay, Vince is actually, let's see, he's done with me. I mean, I don't have a Legends contract. I haven't seen him since 2015 when I inducted my brother into the Hall of Fame. In other words, thanks, and they're done with me. So, but the thing is too, I think he's a good guy. I don't think he killed anybody.
Okay.
But I don't think he's going to succeed in the XFL, because nobody could.
I agree with that. As far as him being done with you, I wouldn't be so sure, because I just saw Torrie Wilson get into the Hall of Fame. You should be getting a phone call soon, and I'm dead serious. I'm serious. I can't handle some of these new inductions, but that's neither here nor there.
Lanny, on my side, I was telling the Pharaoh this. When you're an entertainer like yourself, it's, are you remembered? And I said to him,
"Yep,
I remember the genius.
Yep.
Everybody remembers the genius.
Yep.
Everybody remembers Lanny Poffo.
Yep.
So when you talk about the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, and I think in many, many others, you should and will be in.
I believe so.
And I on my daughter's life, that's how I feel.
Yep.
You are an incredible entertainer in yourself. You gave me so many entertaining moments.
He beat Hulk Hogan.
It just the whole gimmick. You know, we had Dean Douglas in here, and the one thing I didn't ask him, which I should have, or Shane Douglas, is do you give Lanny Poffo credit for your gimmick? Because I'm sure if I did ask that question, he would say yes.
By the way, Billy Jack Haynes believes you should be in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you two guys that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Go.
King Kong Bundy.
Oh, yeah.
And where the hell is Rick Martel?
Oh, thank you. Oh, I've been...
Hit on the head, brother. Hit on the head.
I've been on that for a while, and he really holds up when you look at the old videos.
Listen, Lanny, I don't want to keep you on the line much longer, but we do have one fan that texted in, and he asked if you could just tell the story of when Ronnie Garvin dressed Pistol Pez Watley up as Mrs. Macho Man in ICW. He grew up with ICW.
What?
Well... You see, we had Ronnie Garvin, Macho Man Randy Savage, myself, and, you know, we didn't have an influx of talent. We had to make do with the talent we had. And our competition had talent coming in and out. So we had to come up with, my brother was a very creative guy. And, okay, so Pez Watley is one of the unheralded best interviews in the business. He died about, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Real nice fella. He's from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. That doesn't mean anything, but I really liked him a lot. And one of the great things about Pez Watley was there was nothing he wouldn't do if you asked him to the best of his ability. And my brother had a affinity for the outrageous, okay? So they dressed him as a woman, they put him in a box, and then there's a little mystery what's in the box, like the gobbledygooker, you know what I mean? Except this was something that was a great payoff. He says, it's Pez Watley, bound and gagged, and dressed as a woman. So, I mean, we had a lot of fun there back then. We did the best with what we had. And Monte and the Pharaoh, let me just say this. I'm constantly going on podcasts. I mean, and I have to say no a lot of times, okay? But you guys are polite and professional, and I think you got a hell of a gig going.
Thank you.
I hope it's successful for you, and I can't wait to be on the show again.
We can't wait to have you, my friend, and have a great rest of your weekend, and thank you for giving us your time.
And Billy Jack Haynes, listen, thank you for being nice to me, and evidently you said some nice things about Randy, and I appreciate that more than you'll ever know. And thanks for making me laugh on the road, and with the Walter Brennan impression, plus a million things he could do. He could have fun. And I'm glad he never found it necessary to beat me up like he did Iron Mike Sharp. Oh, my God, his face was like Quasimodo.
Hey, when you're in town, do you want to go get some pizza?
What? Not that pizza. Hell no.
All right, we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, man. Thank you, Lanny.
See you soon, Lanny.
Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The genius.
The genius. Visiting Monte and the Pharaoh. You can't make it up.
No, you can't. He's the best.
Guess if you're not getting any views, I guess Lanny just likes to call into
how
a
do you
place
get,
that doesn't
how
get
do
any
you
views.
get 0 views? I heard that somebody got a donut.
I don't know. Miller, step in. Hold on.
He's too busy stepping out.
All right.
He's like, what?
All right, let's talk some
dear
wrestling,
Lord.
brother. What we got going on?
Well, we started with Fastlane a little bit, and as I was saying, as the as Shane McMahon turns on the Miz and grabs Mrs. Pops by the puss, what I thought was really funny, and I thought of Miller when Mrs. Father starts giving Miz advice to go to the top rope. I heard Miller going, "Yeah, Dad, how many titles have you won?" And of course it results in him losing the match. Way to go! Shane walks over and beats his ass.
That was
so
awesome.
we finally have a heel Shane.
So I missed
which,
that.
by the way, it's been years since
how
we had
was
a...
that? How was that shoot? Well, how was that shoot by Shane at SmackDown? I heard it wasn't that good. I
No,
didn't
it
watch
was actually like dragging a little bit. He needs
And
to
what
get
was the
back
reason?
into
What was the
role.
reason he attacked the Miz? I'm sorry.
Just basically because he's the best in the world, and Miz is a joke. It was just insulting the Miz. Basically,
Right,
there was one great spot
Boss's
in the
kid.
match.
Boss's kid.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was one great spot in the match. Did you see where Shane went to hit the Uso, but the other Uso was going to splash the Miz, and he caught him in midair.
Yeah, that
like
was
he
good.
kicked
That was
from
cool.
one. That was a great spot.
Hey, let me ask you guys this. So, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, like, it's hard to redo everything, right? It's all been done. You've done every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they found an angle that we weren't prepared for.
What's that?
We got the angle of Ronda Rousey claiming that wrestling's fake and she's real, and now she's going to teach these fake wrestlers what's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Right.
What do you think of that idea?
I like that.
Really?
I actually
so
like that
you're
she's-
fake. I'm
No,
real.
no, I don't like.
We're
that
gonna
she-
fight at WrestleMania.
No, I don't like that she said everything's fake. Who would? First of all, I like the fact that she's a bad guy now and embracing the role. That's what I meant by that.
But the angle is, you're all fake. I'm real. Let's get it on.
I don't know. What do you think about that? Go on.
It bothers me
Why? Tell me why.
because when you're trying to suspend disbelief, you can't have shit thrown in your face on a regular
Do you
basis.
really think? And I mentioned this on my 5 minutes this past week, I believe. Do you really think that if you lined up every single female wrestler in the whole wrestling world, that not one of them would be able to beat her ass? I bet you there is one. So for her to go, I could kick her. I'm telling you, it's like we know Ronda Rousey, the fighter, the way she was successful in UFC. There's someone off the street that would just knock the shit out of her. I believe that.
So you have the Rocky image then, that there's a guy out there.
There's someone out
that could,
there.
So it's funny.
In the wrestling women's world, there's someone that could kick her ass.
We
I'm
grew
pretty
up
sure
with a
that.
girl named Lisa. Remember Lisa Casal?
Sure.
So she had a father, and the father, I remember, used to talk. We were watching, I think, Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
And he used to say, there's someone out there that would beat his ass, like someone off the street.
Muhammad Ali.
But my point was,
That's a bit of a stretch.
there's a lot involved,
Especially in his prime.
But there's a lot involved in training. Yeah, you might have someone that's
Right.
tough, a tough girl, but
Right.
is she conditioned?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much more
Right.
involved.
Right.
It's like, here, proof point. Floyd Mayweather against, help me out, the MMA
What,
guy.
McGregor?
McGregor.
Yeah.
Right? McGregor didn't have the conditioning. Floyd Mayweather just laid him out
Right.
and just waited.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you could have a tough guy, right?
Yeah.
But when you face someone that's well conditioned, well oiled, right? You're not going to be able to beat him.
Right.
So yeah, I kind of buy into what you're saying, but then I kind of don't buy into what you're saying.
Okay.
On that point, but. I love Ronda Rousey. I love the way this is going. I don't like I'm real, you're fake, we're out.
Right. All right.
I agree
can see
with
that.
Monty on this.
I can see
I don't
that.
care for the I'm real, you're
I do
fake
love the
crap.
attitude.
Thank you.
I don't care for I like the attitude. I don't like that line. I think that line
I don't like it either.
sucks because it kind of insults every.
It
fan
always
who's
always
watching.
insults wrestling fans.
You
I was
know, it's
insulted.
like, come on, dude. That's
But I also think we're
necessary.
being worked anyway, so whatever,
Of course.
Of course, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, how dare you? You said it. Oh, I'm fine.
By the way,
whatever.
that Lanny Poffo question was from Jim Phillips from the Gorilla Position.
Jim!
Gorilla Position, which
What's up,
is a
Jim?
good friend of ours. I got to tell you, I don't mean to harp on Lanny Poffo, and I know you want to talk about more wrestling.
Oh, sure. Go ahead, man.
You could just tell, like when we met him the first time,
Yeah.
this guy's just a good guy.
He's a good
Like, you know when
soul.
you run across people and you
Sure.
you just feel the evilness just coming out of their skin, and it could be the nicest person.
No, I've never
They
seen
think
that
it'd be
type.
Nice,
Right.
yes.
But you could just feel like the evilness, right? And with Lanny, we broke bread with him, and honestly, I mean, I hate to give a cheap pop, but Evan Ginsberg, who has a show every Sunday from
Most
11 to 1.
eclectic show on the air.
Yeah. When I met him, I felt like this is a good guy.
Yeah.
As much as a pain in the ass that he could be.
What are you doing?
No, he's a little bit.
I can't.
He's a little bit of pain in the ass sometimes. He likes to stir the pot.
So?
But
So do you.
I know.
You're the king of stirring
That
pots.
is true.
Evan likes to stir the pot. Then you go, get out of here with a big old giant ladle. That's not how you do it, Evan. This is how you do it. What are you talking about?
Evan, I actually wrote
Love
him.
Evan.
I
Jeez.
wrote him the other day. He should be very proud of his accomplishments.
Yeah.
Associate producer for The Wrestler.
Yeah. 350.
350 Days, which is coming out, which is, we love that. I can't wait for that. I'm going to get that on DVD.
Yes.
Right.
But here's the best part. he's also like a road agent for some of these older
he
wrestlers,
is.
right?
Yes.
And there's not one person that says a bad thing about him.
No.
And we deal with other promoters, and you know,
yeah.
some of the talent's not big fans of them.
Right.
You know, but I'm not gonna name them. Eric.
There's no BS.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yes.
I'm only kidding,
We love
Eric.
you,
Only
Eric.
2 people hated you.
Oy.
Just kidding. Anyway, that being said, Lanny is an incredible human being, and I really feel he's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
He should.
That being said, I want to close out. We're going to close out the show.
Okay.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to quickly touch base on. I wanted to hear the Pharaoh thoughts on Michael Jackson.
What is with Michael Jackson lately? What do you want to know?
Fill him in there, Mill. You got.
What am I missing?
I
What?
watched
Michael
the documentary.
Oh, there
Leaving
was something that
Neverland,
just came out?
and we were talking on the.
Can you give him a rundown real quick?
Did this just come out or something?
Yes,
Pretty
yes.
recently.
Okay.
And it's basically people saying that Michael Jackson abused them when they
Well,
were
there's
little
2
kids.
boys,
2 boys,
two
who were
men,
dancers,
2 men.
who were like prepubescent boys back
Yes.
in the day. Mm-hmm. And undisputed.
Are they
facts.
still men, or have they changed their minds?
No. Undisputed facts. A.
No, that's a
They
legitimate
traveled.
question.
He traveled around the world with them. B.
And not just them, by the way, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. B. He brought the family, gave the family money and gifts. Undisputed, but C. Also undisputed. The boys slept alone with him in bed. So I said, "You're not innocent, then. You're not. You're not innocent. I'm sorry." So I don't know. I don't know. I caught some heat from a couple of the viewers.
Well, the problem.
Why are you catching heat? What'd you do?
Well, I said he's not innocent.
he has
so,
opinion, right?
So someone else.
Oh, you had an opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
God
I've
forbid
discovered
you
in the
have-
last 24 hours you're not allowed to have an opinion.
No opinions, never.
What was the name of that person? Rectal pain?
Yes.
You're not allowed to have an opinion.
Yep.
Not allowed.
No opinions ever.
Only their opinion counts.
Well,
no wire hangers
fair enough.
ever.
look,
Bye-bye.
this is the scary part.
Hey.
This is the scary part. That you could be so in love with someone or so in awe of them. Like, okay, clearly we're big fans of Hulk Hogan. If Hulk Hogan walked through this, we'd probably be like, holy shit, you know.
Right.
I don't think we'd be that crazy. But the thing is that when someone you love that to that level, or you worship, because it's worship. He was at a level of being worshipped, Michael Jackson.
But
Yes.
Not by some, my friend.
By a lot.
By a lot.
okay, yeah, by some. When you look at the whole world population, by some. You have any idea how many people are on this planet?
I understand.
A lot.
Okay, so 75 million loved him, and then the other kabillion were like,
We're
whatever.
not talking love. We're talking worship. Like,
Okay.
worship
Blinders
everything.
Come on.
Hello?
Do you guys want a phone call?
Hello?
Real quick, and then we're going to call it a day,
Hello?
Steve, okay?
All right.
Hello?
Monte the Pharaoh, how can we help you?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's up? Am I on a podcast?
you are on a broadcast. You with Monte the Pharaoh. Well, who are you, sir?
What's up? Let me hear Tommy's voice. What's up, baby? What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Is that Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy.
What's up,
Tommy
Tommy?
B.
You know Tommy?
No.
Tommy, where
I
you
don't
from,
think I do.
Tommy?
Yo, Tom.
Okay, I hung up on Tommy D. I
thought you knew Tommy.
What?
You act like you knew Tommy.
What?
Sorry.
I did?
Sorry. My producer skills just jumped in and went, eh.
Yeah, I didn't know who Tommy was, but it would be nice to know who he was.
I thought it might have been Tommy from one of the other shows.
So anyway, what other show?
What's that show that the real estate show?
Tommy Palmieri,
Oh, it's
but I don't
maybe
think
that
it
was
him.
Tommy.
I thought that
Palmieri.
was who it was.
Might have been.
I'm not positive, though.
You just hung up on one of our shows, man.
Whatever, when you're asked what your name is. And
Well, the
you're-
connection wasn't that great either. What are you going to do?
So
What are you going to do?
my point was, you watch this documentary,
Yeah.
and these 2 guys are broken, and they even go to the point where like they still feel bad about ratting them out.
Yes.
So it was highly. Let me put it this way: when you take advantage of people in general, it's a bad thing, no matter what. Right? It's bad karma. It's not right. It's just not right. And then you take advantage of a child. How you could defend that? Anybody?
Well, people tried to get on me, and I was like, listen, I was the same way. I'm a Roman Catholic. I was the same way about the priests who abuse children. It's the same thing to me. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. You take advantage of a child, and now you are scum. You are literally the lowest of the low. And that goes for anybody who does it. I don't care.
Now, mind you, people say things, right, like our friend, and throw shit against the wall, and some people believe it, some people don't.
Exactly.
So it's that magnified level, I can see it being a problem. But let me tell you something. When you get dragged to court, I think 2 times over this,
And you pay a lot of
and
money.
you pay a lot of money out, shame on you. And I'll make this statement. I wish he was alive today to face what he did to those people.
Right.
I don't care if you grew up in a family that you were molested and you were beat up. You know what? So is life. It doesn't mean you got to carry on this type of behavior.
Yes.
And it's disgusting. And here's the thing that bothers me the most. People tend to hate Donald Trump more than they hate this is not a political statement, than they hate Michael Jackson. Pharaoh?
Well, that's pretty delusional to do that. When you tell me about this crap about Michael Jackson, and I know it's different, but I hear the vileness that comes out of a Roger Waters' mouth. This is what I do. I can't control them or their jackassery. I never listen to them again. I have noticed that I don't listen to Michael anymore. Why? Because that comes into my head. I'm like, you know what? No. I don't need to listen to your riffs. You're not forever to me now.
Yeah.
Later for you. You know? I mean, that's how I look at it. Roger Waters, I won't listen to a damn thing that comes out of his mouth now because I know what he's about.
I won't. And in turn, this is a wrestling show. I refuse. I will never, I'm sickened by the look of Chris Benoit. Now, I asked questions
Understood.
because I knew Billy
Understood.
Jack Haynes had some feelings about him.
Right.
But,
Understood.
he's a disgusting human being.
It's difficult.
Now, again,
Yeah.
I understand there's drugs and there's other things that go on in all sorts of businesses and all sorts of life.
Yep.
I get it all.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is you want to do it to yourself, a la Kurt Hennig, and you get high and you pass away. It's sad, very sad. Okay, or Davey Boy Smith, who gets drugged out of his mind. I mean, it's sad, and I feel bad. But he did it to himself, right? When you start affecting other people, and you start hurt, and that does affect other people. When you pass away from something like that, forget fans, we're talking family. But anyway, when you hurt other people like that, you can't get any lower. When you go out, there's no way in your mind that you think molesting a child is any kind of sort of love at all.
No.
No.
That's the work of the
That's
guy
it.
with the horns.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and like I said,
That's the devil's handiwork.
I don't need to bring it down, but like I said, I'm a Catholic, and you should bury those priests under the jail that get like that. Like that's it. You did the worst possible thing. You took the trust of a child and you corrupted it. You perverted it for your own pleasure. So, adios.
And mind you, this is, again, everybody's got some sort of skeletons, but some skeletons are unforgivable.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely, you can't come back from that.
And who are we to judge? Look, I can judge. This is
You
my
have
point of
every
view.
right to feel
You
that
have
way.
every right to judge, dude.
What?
On that,
Anyway, we want to cut out the show. I want to thank everybody for joining Monte and the Pharaoh. I will say from my part, and I'll let the Pharaoh send us off, but every week it's our honor to put on this show. Every week we thank Mr. Miller, who takes his personal time out to come out and produce this show.
it's my pleasure. I love doing it. I really do.
Thank you.
I enjoy working with you guys.
And we love working with
man.
you. And, Jim Savali, who has given us this opportunity to put on this show. Again, we're just two fans that enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
We enjoy laughing.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and if we could entertain one person, and I mean that, one person, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
100%.
Pharaoh?
Stay tuned tomorrow for an episode of 5 Minutes with the Pharaoh as we shoot it on location. And until next Thursday, you've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. And remember, folks, opinions are just like, assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them stink. Good night, rectal pain.